Very happy to be with all of you, and I'm wishing all of you a happy Ekadasi. So today we continue our discussion on leadership of His Holiness, the Bhakti Swami. And we have come to this beautiful section, taking action. Yes, we should take action. After being trained, before one can start to cook, you should know how to use the equipment. You cannot start cooking if you don't know how to use the tools in the kitchen. You should know how to use the blender, you should know how to use the gas cooker, how to leave the cooker, the gas cooker. You should know how to use the rolling pin. You should know how to use it. You should know how to use the pots. You should know about the ingredients. All the ingredients there in the kitchen. If you enter the kitchen, you see so many stock of things all over displayed. If you don't know how to cook, if you don't know how to use all these instruments, they have no value, they have no use, even though they may be very expensive. Similarly, if you don't know how to use the tools in Christian consciousness, or the tools of being a leader, we're not going to be a useful leader. We're not going to be a leader. We are simply going to be either a tyrant, or we are going to be Rakshasa or Rakshasi. That's all it will be. So Gurudev has taken us from part 1, part 2. We're dealing with the conflict resolution. We're dealing with the conflict in our country. We're dealing with different aspects of living crisis. We have looked into the crisis, how to handle it, mediations. So we have gone through all this. They are the tools. Now we have to use them. We have to use them. And we have to use them. So taking action. Yes. Introduction to Section 3, taking action. Ultimately, as a leader, you can accomplish the highest material and spiritual when you receive strong support. From those you lead. When you receive strong support from those you lead. Suppose you are a temple president and you have nobody there to manage. What will you do? You can have money. The treasurer is rich, but you don't have the citizens. What will you do with your leadership qualities and the resources you have? What will you do with them? The leader is important, and the led are also very important. Let me ask you a question. This question is for everyone. Anyone can answer me. Of the teachers and the student, who is most important?
Students.
Students.
Students. Both of them.
What of them?
Yes.
What of them?
Yes.
Okay. What else? I have got two answers, student and both of them. Yes.
Krishna Maharaj. Each
Yes.
one depend. Each one depend on the other.
Very good. Very good. Each one depend on each other. If you don't have, we just mentioned that if the leader is there, very powerful, but no citizens, what will you lead? And also, if the citizens are there, but you have no leader, what will you do? So you can say, okay, yeah, they depend on each other, or both of them, or the student. So why would you say the student is the best? Why would you say students are the best? Most important. Yes, many people say, majority of people say student. I agree with you, but why would you? What is the reason for that?
If there are no students, then whom will the teacher teach? Like that.
Okay, if there is no student, the teacher has no value. Very good. What else? Yes, Soumya. Why do you say the student is most important?
Gurudev, even I feel that without student, whom will the teacher teach? And yes.
Okay, and what?
And like everyone has to be a like student to learn at every step. So
Okay, very good. Saki Brenda, you can want to say. What do you say student is the best?
It is the students that will carry on afterwards after the teacher. So if there is no student who will carry on afterwards.
I think Shri Gurudev is facing some network issues, so we'll wait for him to rejoin.
Hare Krishna, Shri Gurudev. Gurudev, we are not able to hear you, Gurudev.
Sorry for the disconnection.
No problem, Shri Gurudev.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, Gurudev, we can hear you.
Okay, so we're still on the student.
Yes, I think Saki Vrinda Mataji was giving the answer.
Yes, she gave. I got her on before. Someone else? Or that is all?
Shri Gurudev, Jayananda Prabhu wants to answer.
Okay.
Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
When the student is eager to learn, then it will inspire the teacher to give the maximum of himself. We have the example of Parikshit Maharaj and Sukadev Goswami. When Parikshit Maharaj was eager to learn, then Sukadev Goswami gave the maximum of himself. That sense.
Okay, very good.
Hare Krishna. Gurudev.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Srila Gurudev, I was thinking that it is the student who will continue the parampara. It is the student who will continue the legacy of the acharyas. If there is no student, then the legacy will break. The succession will break down. So that's why it's very important to have student.
Okay, very good.
So Gurudev, we
Thank
also
you.
have Amit Prabhu wanting to contribute.
Okay.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances.
Okay.
Maharaj, what I understand is that Guru is important because without Guru, students are blind, and students must be there to carry forward Guru's legacy. So both are important.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
All right. Thank you for all your contributions. So I agree with you that between the teacher and the student is the best, because you can, if the teacher is not there, you can, one of the students can speak something. But if the students are not there, the teacher is not going to speak anything. Is it not? Did you see that? Are you there?
Yes, Shri Gurudev.
If the teacher is not there, one of the students can speak something. So the class will go on until the teacher comes. But if the students are not there, the teacher is not going to say anything.
Yes.
Therefore, the students are most important.
Yes.
Similarly, the leader is important because of the strong support of the citizens. Therefore, it is said, a tree cannot make a forest. Yes, when you receive strong support from those you lead, it's very, very important. We can do the best. Right. In second stanza, Gurudev said, when you direct your goals and actions to the good of others, and these others know it, what will happen? The resulting positive energy automatically set in motion universal forces that can literally move mountains. Yes. Yes. So the leader has to have a very strong support from the led. And how will he be able to do that? Is when he directs, when he is taking care of the citizens, and the citizen can actually perceive that our leaders care for us, they will go in completely to support the leader. Why do we use the word sabotage? Why do we use the word sabotage? It's sabotage my government. Means that the student does not support. Why they don't see our actions to be beneficial for them. Therefore, we have to look at the activities which will bring universal results. and it stands for all the time. That is, which is beneficial, stands for all the time. So as a leader, you have the opportunity to tap into this ocean of energy. Indeed, you may be able to single-handedly to change the energy of your family, your organization, your nation, or even of the entire planet. This is the action the leader must take to make him or her a leader. Such a powerful introduction for taking action. Next. Providing protection and freedom from fear. You're not getting the sound?
Srila Gurudev, we can hear you.
You can hear me? Okay. For the safety of the leaders who genuinely love their people, implement policies for their benefit. They also make personal sacrifices for them. When people feel valued and cared for in this way, secure in the knowledge that their leaders wish them well, they reciprocate with loyalty and support, readily accepting inconveniences and austerities without complaints. Yes. The responsibility of a leader is to make sure the citizens feel secure. It's very important. This is one quality, one of the most important qualities we're going to see in Book 2 of Gurudev about Prithu Maharaj. Prithu Maharaj. When Prithu Maharaj appeared, the citizens looked at his face and they could see that in the heart of their leader is full of affection, full of love, full of protection, full of shelter for them. Immediately the citizen responded. So the duty of a leader is not only to come and promise them so many things. That is not enough. That will be just a propaganda. We have to actually do something or implement the policy which will benefit the citizens, that the citizen can identify with. For example, there are universal needs for all species of life. Security is a universal need, not only for one species of life. It's a universal need, security. Where do we have Kshatriyas to lead? Not Brahmanas, not Vaishyas, not Shudras. Why do we have Kshatriyas? Kshatriya, one of the qualities of a Kshatriya is that he has power. Kshatriya has power. The leaders will have power. So Bhismadev, while he was instructing That also we see in book 2 of leadership. When Vishnu was instructing Vishnu Maharaj, he told him, a leader should not be too lenient and it should not be too fierce. Because if the leader is too lenient, the citizen will ride on you. So we say protection is one of the universal needs. I just remember the practical thing. Very practical thing. It is practical thing, an incident that physically happened to my physical knowledge. Physical. Yes. A leader should not be too lenient. The citizen will ride on you. And it should not be too fierce. It should not be too aggressive. It should not be too aggressive. People are too much afraid. I will not give them their best. This is the instruction given to Maharaj Yudhishthira by General Bhishma. So I was saying that I remember a practical incident that took place. A man was married to his wife many years. He never beat the wife, like common people. Many men do that, but this man never beat his wife. Very, very supportive, provide everything. They were living peacefully, seeing their marriage. No thing. Whatever the woman do, the man will forgive. Yeah, my wife. Whatever is here is for you. So loving, so caring, so amiable. Always very satisfied, whatever the woman. Not that she was dubious or very terrible. Not like that. She's a good wife. So the man was he's a responsible man. So he was very, very kind. After many years, the point is that the leader cannot be too lenient. So after so many years, the wife of this man were thinking, this man is he a wicked? This man. Every time I see all around my friends who husband beat every time they fight, and my husband never did this to me. Is he a weak person? Who is this man I've been marrying with since? Let me try him and see what will he be able to protect me. So as he behaving like if another man attacks me tomorrow in the street, what will he do? Will he just say, "Oh, probation to and go away or leave me in the house"? Will he be able to protect me? The woman was thinking like this because the man never mistreated her. He never was so harsh. Was so very nice. For common people, this is very encouraging. This is abnormal, but this is how life should be. In colleague, this is abnormal. We have been looking at, we have been discussing something which were acceptable years back, something which are not acceptable today. This is one of it. Before, beating a woman is a abomination. But now to beat a woman is a common thing. So the woman devised a means. I want to check if my husband can protect me. He's capable of protecting me. Or is this just a weak person will not be able to support me? How can I be with this man for all this year? He never wanted to say anything which I have done that is wrong. How is it possible like that? I've been doing so many wrong things here, but the man never picked me. Who is this man? So one day, I would take home, as usual, made everything very nice. So when the husband came back, she didn't come out to greet him like before, didn't serve him food. So she kept herself in the room. The man came, waited, nothing. So he called the wife. Where are you? She didn't answer. Where are you? She didn't answer. So he entered the room and saw her sitting there. The man said, what's the problem? He said, you are the problem. What's the problem? You are the problem. I asked him, you are the problem? What's the problem? I said, you are the problem. How can you ask me what is the problem? You don't know? You are saying you are the problem? I said, in my house, what has happened to my wife? She's not behaved like this before. She shouted on the man and raised her hand. I would just slap you, you nonsense man. As he did like that, the man slapped her, boing, immediately she fell down. Just one slap, she fell on the roof. When the man raised her hand again, she knelt and said, excuse me, I'm sorry, please, I'm sorry. You know, I have stayed with you for all these years. I've never seen you like this before. So I wanted to know which kind of a husband I have been married with. That's what I'm trying. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Now I'm seeing that. I was wondering, will you be able to protect me if somebody attacking me? That's all. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Now I know my husband is not just ordinary. He's a weak person. You are up to. You are a disciplined person. Now I'm satisfied. So thank you. After they settled they settled everything. She begged the husband. It was not intentional. I just planned to see what will you do if someone they attack me tomorrow. So I'm satisfied. I know I have a very good husband. Not just that this dull, weak person who will not be able to do it. So I'm satisfied. So thank you. So the man didn't say anything. That's how they resolve it. So this Mother will say the leader should not be too lenient. Neither should we become like a tiger harassing people. No, to be moderate as a leader. Next, a leader must set the stage. A leader must set the stage. Yes. Leaders should demonstrate their love by offering more protection and a greater sense of security, automatically receive more support, cooperation, and love in return. That is true. That is natural. Leaders should demonstrate their love by offering more protection and a greater sense of security, automatically receive more support, more cooperation, and more love in return. The citizen will love the king. If something happened to the king, immediately the citizen will come out. We saw that in the life of the Basis. Verses. They saw that their king and queen, Nanda Maharaj, they loved them, and they were leading it perfectly with love and own children. The Basis do in response, they saw everything. Every day we are getting our own children, we do naming ceremony, we do so many things, marriages we are doing. But our own queen and king have never celebrated a birthday of their own child. So can we just leave them like this? No, we have to do something on their own. They were never advised by a soldier or by somebody. No, on their own. Giving them full shelter. They decided let us reciprocate. The Basis they fasted for 1 year so that Nanda Maharaj, so that my will have child also. They did. The leader should do. You have to set the stage. Then the actors can come into play. If the leader is not there, what would they do on the stage? So it is very, very important. The leader to set the stage. Let it be into the series automatically follow. Leader must set the stage. Fearful people manifest specific qualities in their actions and thoughts. One, they do not trust others. That is true. Two, they are slow to reveal their minds. Yes, because they have no confidence. They have no confidence. They cannot trust other people. They can. If I don't trust you, how can I tell you my mind? How can I give you my secret? Only if I trust you, then I can reveal my mind. Why people? Why do we say betray trust? Betray my trust? Because the a person is not a good leader. Therefore, people are very, very skeptical about whom to reveal their minds to. But we are not confident that this person have my interest in his or her mind. It will be very difficult to reveal the mind. Sorry. Normally, they do not offer love easily or make their best effort in any endeavor. That is true. Fourth, sometimes they attack others simply because they anticipate being attacked themselves. This is what happens. I see you as a cheater, you see me as a cheater, and both of us want to cheat each other. So let me be the first to cheat you. Before you cheat me, let me show in the material world is considered smart. I'm very smart. I'm very smart means what? I'm very smart means I can cheat you before you cheat me. So a leader should make sure we give protection to people to remove their fear. That we are here to protect, like the woman, this woman. After this, her confidence in the husband was very strong. This man is strong, he can protect me. Just one slap, I was off. So he gave the confidence. When the woman was fearful, she was not having confidence. That's why I have to devise a means to see what kind of a husband she was having or she's having. When she got that, the fear was destroyed. The husband destroyed the fear. So a leader must destroy the fear of the citizens. In the military, if a leader is fearful, the other soldier will kill him. It's in the military. Why? Because if he is fearful, he is going to project that fear to other soldiers, and their fighting will be a casualty. They're all going to be killed because there's no courage to do the needful. Therefore, when they see that the leader is fearful, irresponsible, they will kill him because they don't want to be killed. So they will have a courageous person who will say, no, today we're going to finish the opponent. He will instill that. And when himself has that strength, that power, they can see that he has this power. They will give in their best. So it's very important. It is very important for the leader to remove the fear from the people are leading. Make them, we should lead them in such a way that they see that they were capable of leading them. A student will leave the class when he see that the teacher is not teaching properly, he's not satisfying him or her. A worker will not give in the best when they see that the master is not corrigible, is not resourceful, is not going to pay their salary. Etc. Like this. So a leader has a responsibility to make sure the citizen feels protected. There is hope. So I was telling devotees, a leader should not tell, like a person or a husband should not tell your wife no money. It's very, very dangerous. There's no money. The table president should not tell the devotees, there's no money, so we cannot provide precedent for you tomorrow. It's very dangerous. Or a devotee is sick and has gone to the management. I'm very sick, I have malaria, which will not cost much. So if the manager tells the devotee, there's no money, that brings a lot of insecurity. My sickness, it takes about 5 rupees or 10 rupees or 100, 200 rupees. And he said, there's no money. How will you have money when I'm sick that will require 20,000 rupees? If 2,000 you cannot provide, how am I sure you are going to provide 20,000 when I'm sick? It will make the citizen to become insecure. So it is our responsibility to do that. Next, when fears like war, crime, oppression, inadequate services, excessive taxation, destitution are eradicated or at least significantly reduced, people become much more willing to cooperate with their leaders. That's a fact. If there is a difficulty, for example, there's not much resources in the temple, and the leader said, don't worry, you are sick now, you need the 2,000, just take 1,000 out to pay. Tomorrow I'll provide the remaining money. So there is a hope. He's making effort, he's doing something, he's making effort. So Gurudev said, eradicated or at least significantly reduced. He will become much more willing to cooperate. He said, the There's no fear. So I'm confident that, yeah, the situations are not always wonderful all the time. So there's some time, even billionaires, there's time also things are not all right. So, but there is a hope that things can become better. Why? Because we can see that our leader is making significant effort. The catalog of fears. Catalog of fear. Our leader has significant weapons for to protect us from war. Have significant equipment, like there are a lot of food. A lot of protective devices. Yes. The government. So yes. So when they say what, to mounting security measures to make sure war cannot penetrate. The crime are being curbed. The operations are also attacked severely. There's adequate services. The leader is not taxing too much, and there's no destitution. People can see that there are resources to alleviate our situations. The citizen will have faith. They have the courage. They have the understanding, the belief that yes, our leader is making effort because he cares for us. He cares for us, therefore, he's making a necessary effort to make sure we are fully protected, we are fully guided. There is the facility for maintenance. But like as we mentioned before, universal need. There is no water. The leader is making arrangement to provide a good drinking water. It's a universal need. It's a necessity. It's something. It is necessary that we should have it. Yes, we should have food. So the leaders are encouraging agriculture, mobilizing people, make all the facilities available and encourage people, not exploiting, but encouraging people in all directions. When the citizens see this, they will feel obliged. They will reciprocate. Reciprocation becomes natural. Reciprocation becomes natural. So we have mentioned many times that the things which we lack, are the things which we are not giving out. This is another thing that we have to look into. We have a situation where it is not the leader who is exploiting the citizen. The citizens are exploiting the leader. The devotees are exploiting the leader. We have a situation like that. The leader is trying seriously to mobilize the citizen to do something right. The leader is calling people, please, anyone who wants to farm should come and see us. Come personally, come directly to the office. We will mobilize you. And the citizens, they come, they will want to do farm. The leader provide the land, and they provide all the monetary support for them to buy all the necessary equipment. They provide some other equipment. They give the seeds or the seedlings to the citizens. It's an investment. It's an encouragement. It is an action of the leader to make sure the citizens are fully protected and facilitated in their day-to-day life for their own benefit and for the benefit of everyone. Because if everyone is doing nicely, the country will be very, very wonderful. What the leaders are doing this. The citizens, they come and collect everything from the government, but no results. It's no results. That is heavy karma. That is heavy karma. Catalog of fears. That is heavy karma. Although some international situations may be difficult to control, a majority of issues can be addressed if leaders employ competent staff and demonstrate by example their personal commitment to help. This will be seen as a support from the leader to help the citizens. And when the citizens sees this, yeah, there are international situation. Yes. For example, we have now, it's an international crisis, a global issue, coronavirus. It's a global issue. So if the leader or leaders can also get together the competent citizens, those who are interested to help the citizens, get all of them together and have a serious discussion and implementation. How to do what is necessary, what is within our reach. For example, in the country where we have natural medicine. I saw one doctor from Gujarat. He has demonstrated how to cure coronavirus. And he encouraged everyone, don't be afraid of this. Don't be afraid of this. Don't be afraid, which is the major thing that they tell so many people. She encourages people, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Simple thing one can do. Simple thing one can do. Water therapy. Only water, steam. And he said, you don't need to add anything into it, just the steam, water, steam, that's all. Morning and evening, 2 times a day. And he said that if you like to add some flavor like what is it? Information. Mentor. Yes, you want to put inside. It's okay. You can put inside the water and inhale through the mouth and push it through the nose, and also inhale through the nose and push it through the mouth. This is what he said. And this is just one person doing this. And he said he has cured so many people from the hospital. Suppose this is coming from the government. What do you think will happen? Suppose this is coming from the government. This is not coming from the government. It is coming from individual person. Suppose this is coming from the government. What do you think will happen? Tremendous effects will take place because it comes from the government. People will follow. So why should a country that has this facility keep quiet and look at the world the same way other people are doing and people are dying? How much water will cost? Who cannot afford water? And use firewood. Nature has already provided water is there, firewood is there, fire is there, wood. You can use wood to boil the water. You don't need to use a sophisticated material. How expensive is this medicine which can cure the dangerous pandemic situation that is tormenting everyone? And I know some other countries also that have other medicine like the natural herbs that can cure this. The government is not supporting that. The government is not doing that. All these remedies are coming from individual people. If government take over this, the citizen will see, yes, when there is a heavy problem, a heavy situation, our government came in and extended their hands to help us and they protect us as we were satisfied with the government. If they are going to ask for vote tomorrow, what will happen? He has automatic vote. Automatic. It's already there because everybody will remember this person protected. So this is the person, this is the kind of a leader we needed. You don't have any opponent. You have automatic vote from the citizens. Next. Nuclear threats. Nuclear threat. The whole world is into this. The whole world is conscious of this. Fear of war is a global problem. Global. Problem. In addition, most life can be destroyed by a nuclear war. And people are aware, everyone is aware of this. These days, the children who can at least perceive something are exposed to more than 5,000 crimes already. We're exposed to crimes, more than 5,000 already. So we are aware what is ahead. Indeed, studies reported that the majority of adolescents believe that there will be a third world war in their lifetime. We are seeing the hand clearly on the wall. We are seeing the hand clearly on the wall. A strong correlation may exist between these fears and the increase in suicides, illicit drug use, and irrational behavior among the young. This we're seeing every day. Look at Look at what is happening with the youth. What is happening? Hmm? Yesterday we were looking at some of the things which were unknown those days, which are very much known today. What is that? Illicit sex. Illicit sex. Those days, a boy and a girl coming together is an abomination. The whole world will hear about. Hey, look at this. Hey, look at this. But today, if a boy and a girl are not doing this, they are considered abomination. For the America, if a girl is 16 and it's a virgin, no man will go near her. This is your social person. That is why it is celebrated. It's considered abomination. It's an abomination. 16? What? So in the school, children are not trained, people are not trained to behave properly, to be respectful. Children are trained. Illicit sex, do not search out, do not suppress it, do it. The more you do it, the better. It is advertised in school. Newspapers advertise it, encourage it, television advertise it, encourage it, school advertise it, encourage it, parent advertise it, encourage it. Therefore, the fear is increasing. Suicide is increasing. Patricide is increasing. Homicide is increasing. Everywhere. Varieties of crime is increasing. A young boy just carry gun and go to a religious house and kill someone and killing himself. If we have told some of our parents 50 years ago that this is going to happen to them, would they believe it? No, they don't believe it. What do you mean? Don't believe it. If you have told somebody before that there's something like typhoid fever, typhoid fever, what do you mean by that? What do you mean? Typhoid, what is it? Nobody will believe what it is. It's an abstract issue. But today is a reality, everybody is talking about it. In fact, these days you go to school, in most places, there are more seminars on HIV/AIDS than the Soviet people have paid money to go and study in school. The fear is haunting everybody. And responsible people are worried. What will happen to my children? I don't want to hear tomorrow that they have been abused, by my child is raped. I fear, he said. But those days, this does not exist. 100% near zero. But today is 100% acceptable. 100% acceptable. Illicit drugs use. This is an addiction to some people who cannot do without this. Not to take it is a serious problem. A government of provision. Yes, irrational behavior. No respect. Now we don't have respect for each other, even for the senior. No respect. We are expecting anything at any time. Anything. Look at what is happening. The whole world is in problem. Everyone is afraid of war. We're not afraid of doing sinful things. We are afraid of death. We are afraid of disease. We are afraid of what is happening. What is the next thing? I got to tornadoes, famine, earthquake, flood, constant fear. This is what is happening. Fear of war at any time, any country can be in war with another country. At any time, at any moment. We're all aware of this. At any moment. When you look at the news, what do you get? Look at the world news. What is there in the newspaper? Tribal wars, communal wars, continental. Read our scripture. What do you see there? The demigods and the demons are constantly at war. You see, try the word Bhagavatam. What is there? War. You see, Bhagavatam. What is there? War. Look at Ramayana. What is there? War. At different levels. Even if you look at our own mind, what is going to war? It's war and fear. But what is the main problem? What is the real thing? The real thing is that nobody cares about the cause of this problem. The most unfortunate thing. Who is looking into the cause of this problem? Who? Everybody trying, okay, this coronavirus has come, okay, look for the medicine. That is medicine to do what? First of all, we have to take a vaccine. The vaccine has been advertised seriously as a means to stop it. Vaccine came, so people have taken. The virus is still spreading. When I asked, what is happening? People have taken vaccine and they say after the vaccine, they didn't get the virus before. After vaccine, they're getting the second one will do it. The first one is not strong. The second one is going to do it. People have taken the first and the second and are still having virus. What is happening? Nobody is questioning that. Everybody talking about vaccine. But nobody is questioning what is happening after the vaccine and the virus is coming in. Who is questioning that? This is a problem. And we don't look for the solution. We're simply busy with that which is not the solution. This is our misfortune. This is our misfortune. Why nobody is looking for the solution to the problem? What is the cause of the problem we're facing? A human being or living entities are constantly unrest. What is causing our rest? Simple activity, disobedient to the laws of God. Our Gita explains this in Yada Blanid Bhavati Bharat. Adutanama Dharmashya, Tada Admanam Chitami. Nobody is looking into it. Nobody looking into this. Glanir Bhavati Bharata. Glanir, the discrepancies in the religious rules and regulations, religious activities. Who is looking about into this? Who around the world? All the leaders are very busy making money and dying. Nobody cares. But the real problem, the real problem. Nobody looking into the real problem. That is a problem, that we're not looking into the real problem. Lani Bhavati Bharat. Lani Bhavati Bharat. It's not considered, not looking into, it's not explore. Explore. It is not. We are simply cheating ourselves. Next. Other phases of war, biological weapons, local wars. While you may not be able to control the international balance of nuclear weapons, you can use your leadership role to help advance regional, civil, tribal, and religious wars closer to home. To do so demands a positive vision of the future and requires you to be strong enough to stand against the tide and take the necessary action. You can use your leadership role to help advance regional, civil, tribal, and religious wars closer to home. Let us educate our citizens and let us educate people that we are not this body, we are spirit souls. We are to be brothers and sisters keepers. This should be taught, this should be revived in our lives. This should be our constant practice. Let us go to the basics. Why should human beings fight for something which it does not worth fighting for? Why? Why should we waste our time? We should fight our mind. No one is being trained how to fight the mind. People are very busy, our leaders are very busy making chemical weapons, biological weapons. I mean, local wars are there. People are taking guns to go and stand on the road and kill so many people, collect all the property. What is that? People should be trained to change the hearts. But this is not going on. This training is not going on. But we're opening big schools to learn how to kill one another. Those who are considered the super world, what are they doing? They spend billions of money for ammunition and they spend less for medical and for education. Billions going for ammunition. Billions are going for ammunition, making ammunition. Less is spent for education, is spent for health. And they are considered the super world. They are the super world, the super, yes, super. What is super? Super world. They spend billions for ammunition not to make dangerous weapons to kill one another easily. That is super. Don't care about life. In some countries, they have animal food more than human food. Yes. They have animal foods in the supermarket. Animal food. Principally dog food. And these days they have a clinic for dogs. At the same time, they are making heavy emulation for key human beings. That is super world. It's super. Our duty as a leader is what? To help people be trained to understand, to kill the demons in their hearts. Why civil war? Why regional war? Why tribal war? Why religious wars? Why? Why these things? Because the heart is demonic. The heart is dirty. Glandi Bhavati Bharat. Glandi Bhavati Bharat. Bharat. Why Krishna used Bharat here? Because Bharat Varsha is not meant for this. Bharat Varsha is meant for rectifying the situations and bring peace for the whole world. Para Upaka. Yes. Para Upaka. So Krishna used the word Bharat here to show the difference. There's a duty of a leader. And today that is not the big conferences everywhere, big seminars everywhere, with big super people, super people. They're super in destruction, not in maintenance. They're super in sinful activities, super in disobeying the rules of God. Of course, nobody can disobey the rules of God. Yes, we are simply trying to disobey the rules of God. And the detriment of our own life. They all die like cockroaches. But no respect, no appreciation for their life. All the demonic leaders who are dying, who cares? Who give them respect? For what? For being super at destroying what nature has provided, polluting everywhere, and encouraging adharma instead of dharma. Is that nonsense? All nonsense. All nonsense. All nonsense. Next, the way societies spend money reveals their priorities and shapes their future. Leaders cannot receive a high level of cooperation from people who feel unprotected. A fearful family, business, or nation is an unproductive one. It is imperative that leaders at all levels contribute towards bringing about disarmament and reducing a tremendous threat of war. Skilled priority. Yes. We already explained. Our government is spending billions for ammunition. And they're spending nothing practically for health. For our natural universal need is not considered. So why would citizens give their hope or their head to such a useless leaders who are not giving them hope for their future. Therefore, they cannot get the cooperation from people who feel unprotected. We are seeing that. Look at the whole world. You see what is happening. Look at this so-called world. What is happening? And the third world are also joining them because the third world are feeling inferior and dependent on the so-called demons. The third world feels inferior. I want to compete. The Prabhupada said, what do you use? So Indians want to compete with this, with the West. What is the thousands of billions of skyscrapers everywhere, and now we are trying to imitate that. And that is happening now. We are counting our civilization based on how many skyscrapers we have. Prabhupada described that as a pigeonhole. That is a civilization, pigeonhole. It's a civilization. What will I look at? Therefore, Buddha recommending it is imperative that leaders at all levels should do what? Contribute towards bringing about disarmament by reducing the tremendous threat of war. We should teach people how to live for each other. Let us teach people how to live for each other, how to respect each other. You should understand the teachings about it. Take the teachings about it. Next. If the military financial resources could be channeled into agricultural, medical, and educational development, yay, many countries will have a much higher standard of life. Yes. All the money they are spending for munitions, they should give it to help the countries to develop in agriculture. Which is the real education. If you spend the money in administrative propaganda, come and give a few grains of rice, few grains to this community and that community, and they go and spend billions for weapons. This is rascality, demonic, rakshashim, asurim chaiva. Is this nonsense? Effect of excessive military spending. What is the effect? Unchecked defense spending also has an adverse effect on ecological, economic, and political stability because it uses up valuable natural resources. Yes, that destroys a lot of plants. Forests are being destroyed. Minerals are being misused. 2, contribute to environmental damage. 3, divert funds from important human needs. 4, and increase discontented, frightened, angry people. As a leader, you're going to ensure that everyone receives a basic education and adequate medical care at no charge or at a nominal cost. at no charge or at a nominal cost. That is government. We consider government. But how this anarchy, that is what is happening everywhere. Anarchy. It I go up to Madande, Hari, Radhe Shama Sundar. Questions, comments?
Thank you so much, Gurudev. So we request devotees to either raise your hand on Zoom or type out your questions in the chat box so we can ask Gurudev questions. Yes, Jayan and Prabhuji.
Hariksha Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
You mentioned that when citizens and devotees they exploit the leader, this is also problematic. So if you could elaborate a bit on how devotees can they can exploit the leaders. If you could speak about it, Maharaj.
In Australia, devotees collect money from government. The devotees they collect money from the government because they pay the citizens who are not working. So devotees go and collect the money from government. I still call them assuras. Is it exploitation? How do you call that?
Yes.
How would you call that? Eh?
Cheating.
Yes. Here in West Africa also. Here in West Africa. We don't collect money from the government. We collect money from the special master to do business, which they will not report back. How do you call that? Yes. These things are happening. All right.
Yeah. Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Yes, Shri Gurudev, we have next Pran Hari Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Dandavat Pranam Maharaj.
Thank you for being with us. We are happy you are here back.
Yeah. Yes, Maharaj, I'm back now, and thank you for your prayer and all the devotee. Actually, I think they all prayed for me. That's the reason I'm back here now, safe and sound. Okay, Maharaj, just one thing I want to, just one thing that you mentioned about that, that one should not fear also. But this is one of the biggest problem in Corona, that people fear. But I want to add two more things, that you should not be lazy also, laid back to fight against the Corona also, and be positive and be hopeful in your life. You will get back, There's nothing that you can't win. Actually, this is what I've learned actually. So you should not be lazy, or you should not fear, or you should be positive all the time. Think of Krishna all the time. You'll be okay. And that is what because everyone supported me in that. And that's the reason I'm here today.
Yes. Yes, that's good. No fear.
Yes, and Maharaj, my question sorry. Yes, Maharaj, continue, sorry.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, Maharaj, my question is basically like, as a leader or as a devotee, sometimes we expect too many things and we want the result, immediate result, being thinking that, okay, I'm associated with society, Krishna consciousness society, so I should get result immediately, or I should get my, whatever I expect, should fulfill immediately. So how do we handle this? Because our expectations are too many, but we are not able to deliver those things. So how do we handle it?
Yes, we should. Last time we were discussing when we have the right to pray to Krishna, but we should also know, we should check and see if we merit what we are praying now, what we are praying for now. So we cannot say it will happen immediately. What if our credit does not worth it? I may desire to have a Rolls Royce car, but do I have the finance? I should check and see if I'm qualified. Yes, I want to have a 100 children. Okay, that is the desire to a prayer. I need 100 children, but I have the ability for that. Then you should check first and see. So we're praying to Krishna. We want it to happen now, but do we have the qualification for that? We merit it. Our karma is up to that for now. So we have to wait. We have to wait. It's important for us to wait. We should pray. We should present our case before Krishna. Before the Swami to his prayer. Push the hand. How to wait. Have to be patient. Enthusiastic. Why would he tell us to be patient? Because he knows. He knows what it is. So let us pray seriously and beg the Lord for help. And we should wait for the mercy. The 10th canto of Bhagavatam is mentioned that those who patiently wait for the Lord's mercy to come, while at the same time they are expressing their challenges, their karmas, and tolerating everything patiently before they know, because they know that Krishna is going to respond. They will inherit the kingdom of God. That is certain. So we should believe these things. We should understand these things. We should trust in Krishna. And we should hear sufficient from pure devotees. So you can understand this and follow them faithfully. All right?
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you, Maharaj. You have answered my both the question actually. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Okay, Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. There's a question.
So Gurudev, we have next question from Bhakta Apua, saying that Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, in addition to that question, if they collect money for the benefit of Krishna consciousness, is that still considered exploitation?
No, that is not exploitation. They collect it for a service of Lord Krishna, and this is used in the service of Krishna. That is not exploitation. It is good because it's used for Krishna. Anything which is used in Krishna, actually, Krishna service, that is not exploitation. After all, it belongs to Krishna.
Okay, Shri Gurudev. Shri Gurudev, we have one more question. That how to a lot of times we devotees find ourselves being fearful due to life circumstances. So we don't want to be fearful and try all means to take our minds off, but then it's still there. So how do we overcome that constant fear?
We should associate more with devotees. who can destroy that fear in the heart by their powerful Krishna consciousness.
Hare Krishna, Shri Gurudev.
This association of visual, we're talking about the point them, their fear will disappear. So if you have a good association with devotees who are very strong in Krishna consciousness, by their presence, by their equivocal words, by their costless mercy, our fear will disappear. We'll feel secure. Oh, I have someone there who can help me. So we'll be free from fear. All right?
Yes, thank you, Shri Gurudev. Shri Gurudev, do we have more time for question?
Yes, we have time.
Yes. So we have next George Amega Prabhuji.
Okay. All right, I beg to offer my humble obeisance.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, Maharaj, Hare Krishna, Maharaj. In relation to the pandemic, not quite a long GBC published an article whereby everybody is at on own risk as to whether to take the vaccine or not to take it. And in each con, you know that GBC is the topmost. I mean, when you talk of the leadership, anything from there we accept it. And here in the article, they are living us. It's more or less like in a dilemma, whereby you choose on your own either to take the vaccine or not to take it. So, Maharaj, my question here is, we as a spiritual organization, are we also failing the whole world? Because we talk of the superpowers where they are coming, they are materialistic people. We are spiritual organization having the head to be the GBC. And GBC is also advising us or telling us that we should go, either we should take the vaccine or we should not take it. Meaning, in a way, you can go for it. That means they are telling us to go for the vaccine. So as a spiritual organization, we are also not having the solution. And India being the headquarters of the spiritual for the whole world, over there, the pandemic is so devastating that I don't know how to describe the whole issue. So where the spiritual abode is, it's also being devastated. So what to talk of we? That is the outside word. So please kindly counsel me as to how to go about this whole thing and the way forward. I'm talking of the article published by the GBC also. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, the GBC did not force us to every duty you must go through. They didn't say that. They leave it. They leave it with us. They leave it with us to decide. You can take it or you can avoid it, depending on the situation. So it is not a fault, because like I said, we have been told that the vaccine is for what I don't understand till today. I don't understand what the vaccine stands for. In the beginning, the idea was the vaccine is to stop this virus. But here we have seen people who have taken the phase, they are getting it. When I question, oh, is the second one that we're going to stop it? Then the second one also the same thing happening. People have not had it before. After taking first and go for the second, they are getting it. And now you have to take this in next year. After so many times, there is no security in this. I think the GDC have used intelligence to see that this is there's no security there. That is why they left this information. So it is not a fault on your part. It is a diligent decision. So you cannot blame them for that. The present situation is that the present situation is that I did mention that the leaders supposed to help us by providing one person is giving the solution and is telling us his experience in the hospital, how they have cured so many people that have come there. And it is a very simple thing. But today everything is based on what we so-called science, and everything naturally considered to be crude, no evidence. We need the scientific evidence, which is the normal norm for today. Therefore, the whole world is following that. That is the problem. Like I mentioned before, that we are not looking for we're not looking for the cause of the problem we are facing. We simply do a patchwork and jump here and jump there and leave the whole thing hanging. This is the situation. So we have to, at our level, Gurudev mentioned here, at all level, leadership at all level, as we're trying to explain, should do something. So let us take this advice from the doctor from Gujarat who has given this simple process, which is working. Let us take it up. If the leaders are not helping us, we're all leaders at different levels, so we should take it up and practice it. Let us continue to use the therapy. Water is water, steam water, that's all. It's not expensive. Let us do that. We don't have to look at who is doing what is doing what now. What is necessary now is that we should do what will help us to be free from this fear of these tragic situations, and then encourage other people to do that. So we are doing we'll do our own part. This is what we should do now, according to my limited knowledge.
Okay, so man, can you say this is so strong that the spiritual, where the spiritual headquarters is the pandemic is so worse than other parts of Africa? What accounts for this?
The issue now is not about this. The issue now is let us tell what is working. This person from Gujarat is from India also. He's not coming from the West Africa. He's from Gujarat. So he is giving this solution. Let us take it.
Okay.
That's what we need now. Do what is practical, what can help us.
Okay, all right. Okay. Thank you very much. All right.
So we cannot wait for anybody now. We have to do something.
Okay. Okay, all right. Thank you very much for the wonderful answer. Yeah.
All right.
Yes, Gurudev, we have one more question from Jayesh Prabhuji. Prabhuji is saying, Hare Krishna Gurudev, please accept my humble obeisances. How to develop an attitude of doing service without expectations? Is the mentality to do spiritual service in exchange of mercy, right?
Do service, exchange.
In exchange,
the last part.
In exchange of mercy, is it right?
Everything has a beginning, and we have to begin from the beginning. So we can start doing our service from fruitive standard. This is how Bhagavata explains everything. Yeah? Yoga ladder begins from karma, an animalistic platform. With this, a human being or doing karma can be, and gradually we progress to the highest stage. It begins from there. So you can start doing some service, and that service will purify us according to our level, our reasoning, in good association. If you do service in good association from a person who knows it and is guiding us, if you follow that, we'll get purified to go to understand the attitude we should have towards the service, which is very, very important. So we can take it from there. From the beginning, to start something. If purification comes, so we can have a better understanding to come to the stage of doing selfless service. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Shri Gurudev. Thank you so much. Shri Gurudev, we have one last question from an anonymous devotee. So, how should we look at the controversy of having two different groups of people in ISKCON? One is believing only in Srila Prabhupada as spiritual master. This group gets into blaspheming of devotees, and the other group considering the disciples of Srila Prabhupada and their disciples to be pure devotees. So, is it a plan of Krishna who is letting it happen? How should we look at it?
Can you repeat the question?
Yes, Gurudev.
Sorry.
No problem, Gurudev. Gurudev, the question is that how should we look at the controversy of having two different groups of people in ISKCON? One group
Okay.
is
One group.
Yes, two different groups, like where one group is believing only in Srila Prabhupada as spiritual master, and this group gets into blaspheming of devotees, whereas the other group considers the disciples of Srila Prabhupada and their disciples to be pure devotees. So, is it a plan of Krishna who is letting this happen? How should we look at it?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question. If all of us believe, so say why Krishna allows us. And for Krishna allowing it means that there is something we should learn there. So one can say that yes, only Prabhupada is a pure devotee, and no one is a pure devotee. I should follow him. So what do we say? What do we say? Follow Prabhupada. What do we mean? What do we mean by that? What is the meaning? Do we really understand what we mean by following Prabhupada? Following Prabhupada means what? That is not understood by those who say they are following Prabhupada. We should follow Prabhupada. Who is not following Prabhupada? What does he mean by following Prabhupada? Not following Prabhupada. So Prabhupada asked everyone to change sincere and giving the full of better principles. So is someone doing that? Can we say that the person or he or she is not following Prabhupada? So following Prabhupada means what? So following Prabhupada means what? That we should walk the way Prabhupada walks, eat the way Prabhupada eat, talk the way Prabhupada talk. Is that what it is by following Prabhupada? We do also have his purity. So follow Prabhupada means what? I feel that we should try to understand what we are talking. So Prabhupada asks us to preach Krishna consciousness. So if someone is preaching, can we say don't follow Prabhupada? We can look at the quality of the person preaching, yes, but if a person is doing preaching and that preaching is bringing people to Krishna consciousness, so can we say the person not following Prabhupada by following Prabhupada? So Prabhupada is alone. The Prabhupada said that his Guru Maharaj sent all his disciples to help him. And he gave credit to his guru, he gave credit to his disciples. So what do you mean by holy Prabhupada? Someone is expanding the Prabhupada's movement by sincerely preaching pure Christian consciousness and representing Prabhupada and accepting disciples to connect them to the Parampara system. You know, following Prabhupada? I feel like people are just talking without understanding what they are talking. And it could be just envy. Last time, and another brother asked him, how can we perceive envy? Because it may not be pronounced, may not be manifest. How can we perceive? How can we know this is envy? These are some of the ways, you see, to show our envy. This is some of the way. I also, I just say, someone is not going to be a sannyasi for lifetime. I see a person who is not going to be a sannyasi. And he's giving law how sannyasi should function. But he is not going to be a sannyasi for this lifetime. No, sannyasi should not have a secretary. No, it should not be a donation of sannyasi. No, sannyasi should not have this. No, sannyasi, but this person is not going to be a sannyasi. But he is giving instruction what the sannyasi is to do. But he is not going to be a sannyasi. What is that? Envy. It's envy. Why can't you become a sannyasi and teach the whole world how a sannyasi should be? Who does know how to give instruction? Who doesn't know how to give instruction? Don't do this. Who doesn't know how to do that? Everybody can do that very easily. But does it mean that everybody who will give instruction know how to act according to instruction? No. So people have a lot of envy and are manifesting it in so many ways. Like this one, follow Prabhupada. It's envy. And Sir Prabhupada did not come to close down Parampara. He came to establish Parampara. I remember in one lecture, Prabhupada said, I grew my quote, this is Prabhupada. I grew Maharaj Labatizan is number 10. I am number 11. And you, my disciples, are number 12. So what do you understand by that? All right?
Yes, Shragurudev. Shragurudev,
Yes.
can we take one more question, Shragurudev?
Yes, go ahead.
So we have Venkatesh Prabhuji asking. Yes, Gurudev. Venkatesh Prabhuji is asking, Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for your association. If a newcomer begins chanting Mahamantra and if they are not in association of devotees, will the newcomer face Anartha Nivritti stage and struggle too much?
Yes, without association, we cannot do much. Without association, we're not going to be free from Anartha Nivritti. Every simple thing becomes very, very difficult. Like I said before, how to destroy fear. Go to a person whom we feel comfortable with. He will destroy that fear. Because we are afraid of a certain thing, unknown thing. You go to a person who will manifest that unknown thing to become known. Our fear will destroy. Association is most important. So about to note a quote I said, my dear brother, my dear sister, where will you find our fortune? Our fortune is what the devotees of Krishna. That is where we find our fortune. So we need association. And these days we cannot say that we don't have time for association. You see, when Tikas Prabhu say, thank you for association. I'm not in India, I'm not in the city, I'm not in the same room with you. But we are speaking from different places. A lot of us have come together. Two from America are here, two from Africa are here, two from India are here, two from other countries are here. What are we doing? We're doing association. So we can call for association in many ways these days. So we can create association. If we are very eager for association, we can create it as we have now. And that will keep us up in our Christian consciousness. And when the pandemic situation is over, so we can look for the physical association also. Very important. Because they will see each other better. That is how we'll make also fast progress in our practice. When you say very fast, we can hide certain things from each other. But when we come close, I'm going to see nothingness, you're going to see my nothingness. That is where challenges come, and that is when our advancement also will come, the way we will deal with it. All right?
Thank you so much, Gurudev. Gurudev, we are done with the questions. So thank you so much, Gurudev, for giving us your time. And I pray to you that we be able to apply, follow, and remember everything that you're teaching us through these sessions. Thank you so much, Gurudev.
Hare Krishna, Prabhupada ki jai.
Okay.
Gurudev ki jai.
His Holiness Bhakti Damodara Swami Maharaj.